Have you ever felt like you clean, and the house never ends up being in order? That you do the best you can, but the next day, everything is the same again? If so, let me tell you something. It's not you, it's your routine. Because cleaning well is not about doing everything at once, nor about spending hours and hours every day. It's about having the right habits. Those small gestures that, repeated every day, make a huge difference. And the best, they are not complicated. You don't need expensive products, special techniques, or become an expert. You just need to know what to do and when to do it. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 simple habits that can completely change the way you clean. Habits that will help you save time, energy, and keep your house tidier without feeling exhausted. They are small changes but with big results. Stay until the end because you may discover that cleaning doesn't have to be hard. It can be lighter, more natural, and smarter. Cleaning the house can be one of those tasks that feels eternal. You finish tidying up a room and another one is already messy. You pick up today and tomorrow everything seems to have returned to its original place. And there comes a point when you ask yourself, is it worth all the effort? Am I doing something wrong? The truth is that the problem is not in you. It is in the way you were taught to do it. We get used to cleaning when it's time, when there is already a mess, when the dust is visible, or when the visitor is about to arrive. But like this, cleaning will always be exhausting. What really changes the game is consistency, the habits. And I'm not talking about dedicating hours to it every day. I talk about simple, sustainable habits that are integrated into your routine without taking up your time or energy. Those that allow you to have a clean house without realizing it. Can you imagine arriving at the end of the day and seeing everything in order without having run even once? That's what these habits can help you achieve. Let's get started. And maybe after this, you'll never see cleaning as a burden again. When we think of a clean house, we usually imagine long days of deep cleaning, products lined up on the counter, cloths, gloves, and a lot of fatigue. But what if I told you that you don't need to clean more? You just need to clean better. The key is in habits, because cleaning is not an event, it is a system. It is the result of small actions that, done at the right time, they prevent clutter from accumulating and effort from skyrocketing. Think about this. It's easier to wash a dish right after using it than to wash the entire pile at once. It is simpler to wipe with a cloth every morning than to scrub away a whole week's worth of dirt. It is less difficult to ventilate every day than to remove the musty smell once it has already been installed. And you don't need to do it all yourself, not even at once. You just need to adjust your routine wisely. The habits that I'm going to share with you in this video are designed for that, to help you keep your house in order without feeling that cleanliness dominates you. They are short, effective actions, and that you can adapt to your rhythm, your energy, and your lifestyle. It doesn't matter if you live alone or with a family, if you work from home or outside, if you have a lot of time or very little. These habits work because they are integrated naturally. Some take less than 5 minutes. Others just require changing the order in which you do things. But all of them, without exception, give you back control, calm, and that beautiful feeling of living in a well-kept space. And the best thing is that when these habits become part of you, cleaning stops being an obligation and becomes a way of taking care of yourself. Let's start with the first one. And get ready, because the further we go, the easier and more freeing this all becomes. Tip 1. Do a mini round every morning. One of the keys to keeping your house in order without effort is start the day with intention. You don't need to clean everything in the morning. Just do a short 5-minute round as soon as you wake up. And yes, just 5 minutes can make a big difference. This habit consists of taking a quick tour of the main areas of your house: living room, kitchen, bathroom. While the coffee water is boiling or before you get dressed, pick up what is out of place, ventilate a little, open the curtains, shake a surface if you see it necessary. It's like you're saying a little good morning to your home. The impact, immediate. You prevent the disorder from growing. Your day starts with another energy. And above all, you don't arrive in the afternoon with the feeling that everything is upside down. This mini round is like stretching your muscles when you wake up. It requires no effort but changes how you feel. Plus, you don't need to do it all yourself. You can involve whoever lives with you. One picks up what's on the table, another ventilates the bathroom, another opens the blinds. It is a habit that is contagious and transforms the environment. Over time, you will notice that keeping the house in order, it no longer feels like a pending task, but as a natural part of your routine. And that is smart cleaning. Tip 2. Leave each space better than you found it. This habit is so subtle that it often goes unnoticed, but it has the power to transform your entire home. The idea is simple. Every time you pass by a space, do something small to leave it a little better than it was. Are you going to the kitchen to drink water? Wash that glass that was left in the sink. Are you passing by the bathroom? Adjust the towel, close the jar, pick up that paper. Are you going to the bedroom? Straighten the pillow, rearrange a piece of clothing, open the window. This habit does not take up your time. In fact, what it does is save you time later. Because when you apply it consistently, the environments are maintained, and what was once chaos at the end of the day now becomes a house that always seems orderly, even if you haven't cleaned as such. Plus, it's a very kind way to reconnect with your home. You don't do it out of obligation, but out of affection. They are almost automatic gestures, but they transmit order, care, and calm. This trick also has a curious effect. When you apply it, you inspire others to do the same, because order is contagious, and when it becomes part of the dynamic of the house, everything flows better. So the next time you move from one space to another, ask yourself, what can I do in 5 seconds to make this a little better? It looks small, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. Tip 3. Never leave a room empty-handed. This habit is so simple that we often overlook it, but it is one of the most effective for maintaining order without realizing it. It consists of something very simple. Every time you leave a room, take at least one object with you that doesn't belong there. It could be that cup left on the nightstand, a towel from the bathroom, a pair of shoes in the living room, an empty bag from the kitchen. It doesn't matter how small it is. If you do it every time you move around the house, you will be tidying continuously without concentrated effort. And the most interesting thing is that you don't feel like you are cleaning. It's just a small gesture that is integrated into your natural routine. But this gesture, repeated several times a day, avoids accumulations, reduces the drudgery of the weekend, and makes everything seem magically in its place. This trick also trains your attention. You begin to see disorder as something momentary, easy to resolve, and not as an impossible mountain. Change your relationship with order. It is no longer a distant goal, but a constant, gentle process that accompanies you. And if you live with more people, you can share this habit as a game at home. Everyone agrees not to leave a room empty-handed. In a few days, you will notice the impact, because many times it is not about doing more, but about doing the right thing at the right time. And if you've already gotten a couple of useful ideas up to this point, this is a good time to remind you that you can subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. This way you don't miss out on any of the upcoming habits and tricks that can make your routine much lighter and your house much easier to maintain. Now we continue with the next trick that, I assure you, can also change the way you see cleaning. Tip 4. Don't let it build up. Clean right away. This habit may seem obvious, but it is one of the most ignored and one of the ones that saves the most work in the long term. It is about solve small tasks as they happen instead of leaving them for later, because that later almost always becomes a bigger problem. Did you spill water when pouring a glass? Clean it right away. Did something fall while cooking? Pick it up at that moment. Did you finish eating? Wash the plate before sitting on the couch. Does the bathroom look a little damp? Wipe it off quickly before it turns into mold. When you act in the moment, tasks don't matter. It takes you 30 seconds. But if you leave it for later, it joins up with something else, and then another. And before you realize it, you have a pile of dishes, difficult stains, or a general cleaning that makes you lazy just to think about it. This habit frees you from that feeling of always being behind with the house. And it also gives you something very valuable, the peace of mind that nothing is out of control, because everything is resolved at the same pace in which it happens. It is a lighter, more present way of living to maintain your home without accumulated effort. And once you apply it, you realize something. The secret is not in cleaning more. It's in leave less things unresolved. Trick 6. Everything has its place, and everything returns to its place. This is one of the most powerful habits you can adopt to have a house in constant order without excessive effort. It consists of applying a simple rule. Every object you use must return to its place immediately after. It seems basic, but it is what is most neglected. We use something and leave it on the table. We took off a coat and threw it on the chair. We take out a Tupperware and it remains outside its shelf. Those small omissions become, without realizing it, the chaos that overwhelms us at the end of the day. The key is to clearly define a place for everything. And not just you. Everyone who lives in the house should know it. Where does each remote control go? The keys? The market bags? The important rolls? Once everything has a home, the routine becomes lighter. Because you don't waste time searching, clutter doesn't accumulate, and maintaining order becomes automatic. This habit also helps a lot with domestic anxiety. When you know that everything has a place and that things return there without drama, your home becomes a more predictable, more functional, more yours space. It's not about being strict, it's about being constant. And the more you do it, the easier everything else becomes. Tip 7. Ventilate your house every day, even just for 10 minutes. Cleanliness is not only in what you see, it's also in what you breathe. Stuffed air, the smell of confinement, humidity, or invisible dust make the house feel heavy, even if everything looks in order. That is why this habit is so important. Open windows every day, even for a few minutes, completely changes the atmosphere of the home. Ventilating is free, it's easy, and it is one of the most powerful acts to renew the energy of a space. Open 2 opposite windows to allow air to circulate, especially in the early hours of the day. It doesn't matter if it's cold. 10 minutes is enough to renew the air, eliminate odors, lower humidity, and give way to a feeling of real freshness. This trick also helps prevent mold, keep fabrics, such as curtains, couches, and mattresses, free of moisture, and balance the natural temperature of the home. In addition, it is a great ally for your health. You breathe better, you sleep better, and you even feel better. Making it part of your morning routine, at the same time you're making breakfast or doing your quick rounds, can make a big difference. It is a small ritual that clean without cleaning, because a house that breathes is a house that lives. And before we move on to the next trick, if this type of advice is making your routine easier, I want to tell you something that can help you even more. I have prepared a special guide with ideas, methods, and practical solutions to keep your home tidy, clean, and more comfortable, especially designed for those who want to simplify, but without losing control. I leave you the link in the comments of this video in case you want to take a look. Many people who have it have told me that it has become a daily ally. Now we continue with trick number 8, which will help you solve one of the most difficult corners of any home. Tip 8. Create stations of order at points of chaos. Every house has those corners where disorder appears without anyone inviting it. Maybe it's the entryway table, the kitchen counter, a corner of the dining room, or that armchair that becomes a repository for everything that doesn't have a place. Keys, letters, bags, receipts, chargers. Day after day, they accumulate there as if they had a life of their own. Instead of fighting those gaps over and over again, the smartest thing you can do is accept them and design a simple solution. Create an order station. This means adapting the space so that everyday clutter has an assigned, functional, and easy to maintain place. You can place a nice tray where you can leave your keys and mail, use a discreet box for the day's loose items, or define a specific space where you can leave what you need to take out of the house later. It's not about hiding the disorder, but about containing it. When everything has its place, even temporary or in-transit things, the environment feels cleaner, more controlled, more harmonious. And the best thing is that this habit is self-sustaining, because you are not forcing order. You are accommodating the reality of your routine in a smarter way. In a short time, you will notice how that space that always seemed overflowing begins to stand on its own. Because order isn't always about avoiding chaos. Sometimes it's about give a clear place to the inevitable. Tip 9. Recognize what you did do, not just what is missing. One of the reasons why cleaning is exhausting is not just the physical effort, but the mental weight. That feeling that you never finish, that there is always something more to do. Because yes, cleaning a house is a never-ending task. There will always be dust that returns, dishes that are used, clothes that appear. But when you only see what's missing, you lose sight of everything you've already accomplished. And that's when you get frustrated. That is why this habit is so important. Get used to recognizing what you did do, even if there is more to do. Even if you haven't finished everything. Did you clean the kitchen? Did you do a quick round in the morning? Did you set up the bathroom? That counts. That's progress. That's enough for today. You can pause at the end of the day, look around and say, today I did this, this, and this, and with that, that's okay. Or you can even write down what you accomplished, like a gratitude list, but from home. That changes your perspective, because cleaning stops being a race without a goal and becomes a process that you can feel proud of step by step. This habit also alleviates the constant demand. It allows you to live your home from peace, not from debt. Because when you start valuing every small gesture, no matter how minimal, your energy changes, your mood improves, and maintaining order becomes something more emotionally sustainable. Your house doesn't need perfection. It needs intention, presence, and that you recognize the love that you put in every corner. Trick 10. Clean with intention, not out of obligation. Many times we clean on autopilot. We clean because it has to be done, because we were taught that a house must be spotless, because if we don't, no one else will. And so, over time, cleaning becomes a burden, a punishment, something we want to finish as quickly as possible. But when you clean from that place, there is no satisfaction, no connection with what you are doing. This habit changes that completely. It is about clean with intention. That is, give a purpose to what you do. Not just mopping a floor, but taking care of the space where you walk every day. Not just organizing a table, but creating the place where you are going to share a meal in peace. Not only ventilate a room, but renew the air you breathe. When you clean consciously, your gestures transform. The cloth in your hand stops being an obligation and becomes a care tool. You're saying, this space matters, I matter, and I deserve to live in a place that does me good. This habit also changes your energy because you do it from love, not from pressure. And that shows in your body, in your spirit, in the atmosphere of your home. You don't need to do everything perfect. You just need to do it present, real, meaningful. When you clean with intention, your home stops being just a place. It becomes a refuge, a space that reflects you, that sustains you, and that, in some way, also thanks you for taking care of it. Now you've seen it with your own eyes. You don't need to clean more. You just need to clean better. Sometimes what really transforms your home isn't expensive products, hours spent, or deep cleaning every weekend. They are the little habits, those simple gestures repeated every day that create an environment that is lighter, more orderly, and more yours. Today you learned that doing a quick round in the morning, putting things back, airing out for a few minutes, or cleaning while you do something else may seem like small details, but they have a profound impact on how your home looks and feels. And the most beautiful thing, they also change how you feel, because when you live in a place that is in harmony, you also enter harmony, and keeping it that way no longer feels like an obligation, but rather like a way to take care of yourself. If this content helped you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications. This way you don't miss the next tips, and we continue together on this path of living lighter, simpler, and with more well-being. And if you would like a practical guide with more ideas to keep your home clean and organized without burning out, I left you a special gift in the comments. Take a minute to look at it. I assure you that it can be a beautiful ally in your daily routine. Thanks for being here. Thank you for taking care of your space and yourself. See you in the next video.